Hello my lovely nestlings and welcome to the last declutter of the year, which is going to be the palette declutter. And this is going to be a nightmare because I want to be brutal. And if you're new, welcome. My name is Nikki. I'm from the Netherlands, hence the accent. I'm also slightly orcish, relatively vintage. I love spooky stuff, makeup and being creative. Let me explain some things. The slightly orcish means I'm green. I'm a light to light medium, warmish olive. The relatively vintage means I'm 47. Spooky stuff. Listen, it's Halloween all year round in my house. It saves dusting. We also have a bunch of tarantulas. We have a snake. We have 5 cats. Some ghosties floating around. So it's a busy house here. The creativeness, I'm also a mandala artist and teacher, and I have an art channel which will be linked down below. Okay, let's get the pesky disclaimers out of the way. First, please do not ask me for any used makeup. I will not give it to you. That is it. If it's new, I will send it on Vinted, or maybe if it's slightly used. For the rest, I have people that I can gift things to. And if I cannot get rid of anything, it will be donated, so everything has a home. Okay. I've already kind of, I don't know if you can see the sparkles. I've already been kind of checking out my collection, and I'm going to start with 2 new palettes that you have not seen on my channel yet. I also don't know if anyone is interested, but those are the 2 palettes that are going to be held up against the rest of the palettes color-wise, and they are these from P.Louise. This was their Halloween collection. I bought these. This is actually one of the few things that I bought this year. I bought these and I have used them off camera. And can I just tell you, I love the quality. I love the way that these look. They have so many eyeshadows in there that I'm kind of going to check against them. So let me show you. This is the droplet of magic. I already removed the these just so to make it a little bit easier on myself. So this is one side, which is grays and the kind of grayer toned greens, and then here we have purples and a few reds. I'm actually going to, can I put them like this so I can kind of see the colors? And then here is the white one. So we have murky greens, we have some pinky purples. And then here we have oranges, yellows, and a little bit of the orangey red. So basically that's kind of the 2 color stories that I want to check against. So I'm actually going to put them there so that I can kind of see. Let's start with some things that I know I'm going to declutter and you are going to probably gasp. So let's start with these from Sigil Inspired. Sigil Inspired is a Russian brand. If you're outside of Russia, you cannot get her stuff anymore. These actually survived my last declutter, but since then I have not used them, and I just, while they do bring me a certain type of joy, it also makes me feel a little bit guilty almost because I don't use them, if that makes any sense. So yeah, we have here the Chinchilla, which was a favorite for so long, but I don't use this. I haven't used it in I think over 2 years, so that is going to go. This is the Dragon palette, which was the first palette that she released. I haven't touched this in I don't know how long. It's also going to go. Then we have the Snake, and I kept her last time because of this shade, but I kind of have an equivalent in a brand that you can get. So this one is also going to go. And then here is the Naked Kitty Cat. It's also going to go. I never use this. The quality is very good though, and if I could still get them, I would probably keep at least a few. I actually was collecting those back in the day, so yes. Let's go next to DD Signature. She quit her brand. She restarted her brand. This is the only palette that I have from her. I am on her PR list and I also have a discount code. I do not know if this one is still available. The quality is so nice. I kind of kept it because of these 3 shades. But I think I'm kind of checking. I know that I have some neon strewn around my collection. I don't really use a lot of neons though, especially. So if I use a neon, it's a bright orange, a bright green, or a bright yellow for in my inner corner, for instance. And this is too dark for me for in my inner corner, I think. Yeah, it's just not a color that I use. So I'm going to declutter this as well. Formula is very nice though. Let's go to Lethal. I think this is the only Lethal palette that I have left. The Berlin, last time it stayed because of sentimental reasons. But honestly, I think that this is the best Lethal formula that I've ever tried. I love the formula in this. However, I don't use it. So I think it's time to basically let it go. Yeah. Okay, let's go to these 2 from Too Faced. This one stayed last time because it's just so cute. Honestly though, I have a lot of neutrals right now, and I actually have neutrals that I do grab for over this one. I think I've used this once, maybe even twice, and I've had this for almost a year, so this is going to go. The Major Love palette. I love this. I don't use her often, and she is staying. So the reason that she is staying is because I really love the way this looks. This does make me happy to look at as well, even if it's just lying there. But it also has a light pink eyeshadow, and I don't really have that color. Well, I do, but I won't when I'm done with it. So I'm actually going to keep it here. So far that one is staying. Let's go to Katrice. So this is a new palette, the mini wow in a box. I actually really enjoyed this. I thought that the quality was very nice. If this had been a matte shadow, I would probably keep it. Although this is the 5 in a box golden nude. This is actually a repurchase, so this one is staying because I really do enjoy this one. So this one is certainly staying. I'm going to keep it here because I love the formula. This one I'm not really sure about yet. I kind of have to see what else I have in my collection. So that's going in the maybe pile. The Vintage Soul palette stayed last time. It stays constantly because I'm always saying if I want to use it, I have the colors, but I just don't use it. It's just not colors that I grab for. The trouble is with this one, it's no longer sold. So if I declutter it now, I cannot get it anymore. Kind of seeing. I'm going to keep it here to see if I kind of have something. You know, it just doesn't make any sense for me to keep holding on to stuff that I say that I'll use, but I just don't use, you know? Okay. This is going to be so difficult. Let's go to Shroud Cosmetics. So I have here the Hello Bean, I have It's Freaking Bats, and I have Moonfall. Going to put them a little bit like that, so because of the mirrors. So out of these 3, that's pretty. I actually love this one the most. Color story wise, this one speaks to me the most. Kind of checking in my P.Louise. I kind of have equivalents. I don't really know if I have something for the Afterlife though. I am going to declutter Moonfall and It's Freaking Bats. I don't use them at all. And I love Betty Jean, but my makeup collection is not making me happy right now. It's just too much stuff that I don't use. And I really feel that there was a shift between really collecting makeup as well versus collecting some makeup but being a little bit more critical with the things that I'm keeping, if that makes any sense. So yeah, okay. So let's put those there. Let's go to this, the Flower Child palette. This one stayed last time. It stays always just because I love it so much. I know I won't use it, although I do have a very light. Oh, I have my pinkies in here. Oh, wait. But is that enough? Because the other palette that I have one palette with some pinks. It's a great quality. But do I want to keep this one or that one? I'm not sure. Also, I never wear pink. Let's face it, I never wear pink. So this one, it's a pretty old palette. So what I am going to declutter it. Although it could very well be that I will put this on display. And when I put things really on display, they are going out of my working collection and I just don't use them. So this one I am going to declutter, and maybe I'm going to put this one on display. I'm not sure yet, but I'm finally going to declutter it. The Sakura palette from Alter Ego. Why are you dirty? Okay, so I've never used this. I got this scent in PR. I never used it. Just hadn't had the, well, I had the time. I just didn't feel like it. This one is very much new, and it's a little bit of a dustier color story, right? So I kind of want to check it against Tiny Marvels, because that's also a dustier color story. Honestly, I would rather use this one than that one. It does have some of the pinkies of that palette. But I actually really love the formula of Alter Ego. I just don't see myself using this. I'm kind of wanting to check it against another palette that I have here as well. Did I tell you to grab a drink and a snack? You're going to need it. Okay, so let's see. So they're not the same colors. But there are cool tone neutrals in the Stone Cold Fox. And I kind of have these kind of dustier greens in my P.Louise palette. They're a little bit more on the minty side. Tiny Marvels, by the way, is staying. Did I even keep anything? Oh yeah, I kept the... I did. I kept the P.Louise palettes, and I kept the Too Faced and the Katrice. So I'm keeping at least some. So that's the keep pile. So here we have from Alter Ego the Mirage palette. I actually really enjoyed this palette. I think that the quality was very, very nice. Am I going to use it again though? I kind of do want to keep it. Alter Ego sent these to me in PR. I don't know if I'm on their PR list or anything. I'm not expecting to, but I kind of do want to keep something from the brand. Just because. So I also grabbed two other palettes here that I found from Catrice. This is just such a mess, this declutter. My declutters are always a mess. I actually decluttered both of these last declutter, and I grabbed them back into my collection. So I'm kind of looking, I'm always thinking that I have a lot of neutrals, but I actually don't really. Well, I do, but not like this. So what I think I'll do is I think I'll keep this one. So that I just, because these are orangey neutrals. And honestly, I think that I also want to keep this one. Because the more that I look at it, the more interesting it becomes for me. So I think I'll also hang on to this one for now. Because I have the Mirage from Alter Ego, I am finally going to declutter the golden or the warm spice look from Catrice. I do really love this palette, but this is an older palette, this is a newer palette, so I'm going to declutter that one. And then I actually found this one again, which is the Vivid Burgundy. I think between the Alter Ego one and then this one, I basically have, oh, but this is more red. I love that color so much. I never use it though. So there's that. Oh lordy lord. And honestly, I love to have everything in the same palette. I don't really like the shimmers in this one though. Oh, I kind of have an equivalent. Well, this one is a little bit more red. A little bit more gray, but maybe? Let's see. They're not the same, but they are close. The one in the Catrice palette is a little bit more purple. However, I think that if I kind of do that, mix it with the black, I can get the same type of color. So I am finally going to declutter the Vintage Pro, the Vintage Soul. Any hoosies, yes. Wow. And because I have this one, I kind of basically have the colors. Yeah, I think I have the colors, so I think I'm going to let that one finally go to again. So this is the Vivid Burgundy. It's going to be decluttered too. These two are going to go on my stay pile. That is a newer one, but I think I have something for it. Okay, so here I have from Rebel Rouge Labs, the As the World Falls Down. This was my favorite palette from last year. I don't know if I have an equivalent like this. I do want to keep it, but I also am not sure. So yes, there is that. Let's go to ColourPop. Let's go to ColourPop. So I have here the Aurora Struck palette. I love the quality. I think the color story is great, but I never used it. I don't remember when it launched. I think did it launch late last year or did it launch this year? I'm actually not sure. But I haven't touched it for such a long time. I never do blue eyeshadow, so I'm just going to check row by row. If I look at this one, I have its equivalent in the Stone Cold Fox. I never do blue eyeshadow. I have the green eyeshadows that I want. I don't use cool toned greens a lot, and I think that with this one, I have some. Oh, it's a different color, isn't it? Yes, of course it is. These are very light. Purpley tones. Very light pink here as well. I don't use a color like that often. And I'm sure that I have it. I just don't know where. Okay, so I grabbed the Muse. It's not the same. This one is darker, but it's close enough so that I can declutter the Aurora Struck. Let's go to this one, the Stone Cold Fox. I love the Stone Cold Fox. I haven't used it in a long time though. This does give me a lot of nude shades that I use. Gives me depth. The shimmers aren't that spectacular in this palette, but they're nice enough. And it does give me a lot of neutral shades, cool tones, some a little bit more warmer tones. Let's check it against the rest that I have from ColourPop. So let's go to this one, the Alice in Wonderland. This is pastels that I used once off camera. This palette is, I'm going to declutter it, but before you freak out, I'm going to put it in my display collection. I have it on display anyway. I used it once, it was nice enough, but I'm going to declutter this and put it in my display collection. Then we have here the Rudolph palette. This is actually, as you can see, it's still in the box. I got this recently in PR. I haven't used it yet though, but it's just, look how cute this is. It's so cute. And I think that the color story is actually pretty cute as well. Well, it's new. I haven't used it yet. I think that the whole collection is cute. So this is staying for now, at least. I just really want to try it. And yeah, you know, I don't know if I don't like it. This is something that I will kind of want to put on display maybe. So for now, this one is staying, the Rudolph there. Then we have here my Star Wars palettes, the Mandalorian. I have used this one a lot, not recently though. Then we have the Child, Darth Vader. And this one is staying because it's my favorite gold palette, so this one is staying for sure. And then these, I don't like this. I've never used this. I did actually swap out a shade with the Stone Cold Fox because that made way more sense. For me, this one was there and this one is there now. Yeah, it's just a very uninteresting shade. I do like Star Wars, but do I like it enough to keep it? That's kind of the question that I have right now with myself. Same with these two. You know what? I think I'm going to declutter all of these. So, Darth Vader, the Mandalorian, and the Child. I'm just not using these, and I would rather someone else enjoy these as much as I did enjoy these. So I'm going to declutter those. I kept the C3PO, yeah. Here we have the Sweet Talk palette, and this palette, it still smells good. This is a palette that I do use in summer especially, so it is staying. Kind of checking. I would rather use this palette than this palette. So this one I'm going to declutter, which was the Peach Perfect. It's a new one. It is a nice palette, but I'm going to declutter that one. I'm going to keep this one. And I'm kind of seeing the rest. I actually spruced this one up myself. Yeah, this one is staying again. It's, I think, the oldest palette that I have. So here I have the Los Angeles Lakers. I actually got this as a gift. This is very sentimental for me. I've never ever used it. Never even swatched it. To be honest, I don't think that while I love the color combination, I don't think that I'll ever use it. It doesn't have enough of depth for me. I haven't used it since I got it. So it was a birthday gift, I think last year, my birthday gift, and it's just, I'm so incredibly grateful for the amazing friends that I have. However, I do think that someone else will use it, and it's it's just getting lost in my collection. So I am going to declutter that one too. Then we have here the Angel collection, Angel palette. I actually really enjoy this palette. The matte shadows work. The shimmers are pretty. They're not stunning, but they're pretty. Do I have that? Do I have a I have a dark gray shimmer there? A very, very dark gray shimmer. Do I have another very dark gray shimmer? I don't know. This does give me so much variety though, this one. The Stone Cold Fox. Honestly though, the rose that I use are these and this one. These colors I have, and I also have it in this one. This one I kinda need to check that. I should have this in some of the palettes that I still have left, but I'll have to check. So this one is very much, if I can find basically this dark gray combination, that's the dark gray, and I know that I have a silver somewhere. So I think I'm also going to declutter my Stone Cold Fox. Wow, never thought I'd do that. I am going to keep the Angel. Then here, Hocus Pocus number 2. Oh, okay. I don't think that I can swatch that well. The shimmers in here are meh. The mattes here are actually pretty nice. I don't use her though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to declutter this. However, I also still have the first one, which is out of my collection, but in my display collection. So it's on display, and I'm going to put this one on display as well. Okay, next I'm going to go to, let's go to Fantasy Cosmetica. So I have the Druid, the Warlock, the Sorcerer, Bard, and Rogue. Let's open them up. So this was her first palette, and I love the palette a lot. However, I don't really use it. I kind of need to see the dark green. Oh, fuck. My thumbnail just broke off because I was trying to open a palette. So, where's that green one? Oh, here. I actually think that... Am I going to declutter it? Am I? So this was her first release, that one, the Warlock. And let's do it like this. And this is the Druid. This is the one that I bought myself. And the rest I got sent in PR. I actually think that the new formula that she has in this one, I think it's better than in her previous palettes. I actually think that I am going to declutter this one. I do love it, but I just don't wear a lot of very, very dark makeup. So I just don't feel like I need to keep it. Oh, let's remove the nail tip. Here we have the Sorcerer palette. Kind of looking again. Do I even have blue shadows left? Blue matte shadows. Oh, I do. Oh, I do. Okay. So the blue that is in here, that is actually one of the blues that I don't really like. So, well, I think that this is a very, very cool palette. I think I'm going to declutter this one as well. Then we have here Rogue. think I'm going to, am I going to keep Rogue? I am going to let this one go, the Bard palette. I did enjoy the palette. I like her newer formula more, and I do have these colors somewhere, I believe. I think. I just need to learn to not keep a palette for a single shade. This one is, that is a very, very pretty color story, but I kind of have it there as well. Oh wait, do I also have, it's not the same shade. This is a little bit darker, but it's almost the same. So I'm going to declutter Bard as well. I am going to keep Warlock. It's a newer one, and I know that I said I'm not really into the very murky shades right now, but I also don't really have a lot of them, and I really did enjoy this palette, so I'm going to keep Warlock. I'm also going to keep this. Yes, I am. Which is Rogue. So I'm keeping Rogue as well. Let's go to this one, which is from Salem Cosmetics, collaboration with Smink Bedoelde. This is At Forced Heart. This was also a gift. I am going to keep this one because it gives me a little bit of the things that I want and I don't really have in my collection. So I'm keeping that as well. Let's go next to Unique Beauty. What I actually want is I want, as I said, to really tone down my collection, but I do want to keep variety in brands in my collection. So actually with that, I'm also going to keep this one. The Hello Bean, yeah. Okay, let's go to Unique Beauty, and this is going to be a thingy. Because what this girl is good at, and I mean very, very good at, are shimmers. Her shimmers are, oh my lord, they are just so extremely pretty. So this is her new collection. I also have two from her old collection. So I have here a Warm Autumn and Dark Souls. So this is Warm Autumn. I am going to declutter this one. Yeah, her new formula is better, so I'm going to declutter that one. We're also going to declutter Dark Souls. So here I kind of have the conundrum going on. I want to declutter here, but I also don't, if that makes any sense. See? I actually really love this one. Yes, it's neutrals, but they're very, very pretty. And then especially this color. This is just so extremely stunning. Oh, I don't think that I can let that one go. But I'm also thinking about, will I use it? So there's kind of the conundrum. So purple shades, I'm looking at my P.Louise palette. They are a little bit more pinky purple. I also have the bluer purples there. The trouble is that I absolutely adore this combination. So when I use a shadow like this, which is a purple to teal or teal to purple, I always combine it with purple shadows. So I think I do need to keep this one, and I don't use it often, but I do use it. So that's Drama Queen. I think I'm going to declutter this one, which is her all shimmer palette, and even though I think it's just a stunning palette, I kind of only use it for that shade, and I would rather use, I think, that one. I think let's this is a topper, and this is just, can you tell the difference? But I also have, where is my Davina? Here's Davina. It's a little bit more green. But I'm so sparkly. Oh, look at that. Am I finally? Am I? I do use that one a lot, but these are just so extremely stunning. So this is a shadow that I don't think I ever used. Ooh. Yeah, my fingers are so dirty. I think I prefer that one for just for my skin tone. So what I think I'm actually going to declutter this one. I've had this in my collection for so long. But honestly, the only two shades I use are those, and I have that here as well. And here I also get some matte shadows. So I'm going to declutter Divina. I never thought that I would declutter Divina. I took a shower this morning, but I think I need to take another shower later to wash off all the sparkly bits. I am actually going to keep this one. I do have greens, but I don't have that many greens, and I do use this palette. So I'm going to keep that one. I'm going to declutter. Am I? Yeah, I am going to declutter this one, which is the All Shimmer palette. I do use these. And I especially grab this palette for those two shades very regularly. I don't know if you can see it, but I have a dip actually in both. So I'm going to keep this one, which is Glow Up. I think I also need to keep this one. Oh, why? Said I wanted to tone down the collection. Anywhoosies, let's grab the Natasha Denona Circo Loco palette. This stayed last time, but honestly, I'm not really that impressed with the shimmers in this one. I think I used it once. And that's kind of it. So this is going to go. Then we have here Artitude Cosmetics. I have two palettes from her left. I have Maneater. And I have, oh, where's the other one? I have another one. Oh, here. Duh. And I have Obsession. And Obsession is her newest palette. And this, I had a lot of fun with this. This has different shimmer formulas. The mattes are very good. It's just a very nice palette. And I do want to keep a palette from her. So, oh, that bangle shade. Oh, can we just appreciate that? But I think I also have that left. I think I also have that somewhere, that shade. Yeah, I have it here in Dusk. So I'm kind of looking that, and I'm seeing that I have overlap in this palette and that palette, and I'm keeping Forced Heart. So I'm decluttering Maneater. And Artitude Cosmetics is a UK-based indie brand. In case you're interested. I am keeping this one, the Obsession. So let's go here to Viseart. So I kind of have another conundrum here. I got both of these as a gift. I've wanted the dark edit for, I'm making everything sparkly, for a long time. As you can see, it's very pristine. I've never used this. So I got this from one of my dear friends, and I just think that I'm not going to use this. So I'm going to contact her and ask her what she wants me to do with it. But I am going to declutter this one. Should see if I still have the outer box. I should somewhere. Then the Spritz Edit, same thing. I actually got this for my birthday. As you can see, it's still in the box. It stayed last time because I wanted to use it, but I haven't. And when I look at this palette, it's just not that appealing to me. And that's quite interesting because I do love all the colors that are in here. But I'm just not going to use it. So, yeah. So I'm going to ask her what she wants me to do with this as well. But I am going to declutter it. I just, you know, I just feel guilty just seeing it laying around in my collection and me not doing anything with it, you know. So we have here the Tribe by Juvia's Place. Honestly, this one stays every time. Let's put you there. Let's check into the P.Louise palettes. I do have some overlap, a little. With that one. And not with that one. But there's just something about, oh, let's put you here. There's just something about this formula, or not specifically the formula, but the color story that I love so much. That's kind of, mattes are still good. Oh, lordy lord. I'm kind of thinking, would I miss it if I declutter it? I don't know. So the trouble that I'm having is this shade. And basically when I open up this palette, I usually play here. When was the last time that I used this? That's a good question. It's going on my maybe pile. I don't know. I'm going to, the Major Love, I already said that I was keeping it, but I'm going to move it to my keep pile because it's in the way. Let's go to this one, the Blend Bunny Surge palette. So last time I kept it because of the neons. The shimmers are, yeah, they're okay. That one's cute though. I haven't used it in a year. So do I want to keep it or no? It's going on the maybe pile as well. Okay. Let's go to What's Up Beauty. So I have her Geodes palette, which looks like this. And I have her newest palette, which is the Dragon palette, which looks like this. So this shade Scales, it's just so stunning. This is a bluer green. And even though I have it with a more shifty formula, I do want to keep this one. First off, it's stunning. Second, it's a newer palette, and I do want to keep a palette from the brand, so I'm keeping this one, and I am decluttering the Geodes. Is this going to fall? Probably. Let's hope not. Okay, Subculture. So, this has been my love for such a long time. Ooh, that shade is not really... The shimmers are going a little bit. Maybe it's also an older palette, so. Am I finally going to let this one go? Am I? Kind of have the upgraded version a little. And I think I do have all the colors in my P.Louise. So I think I'm finally going to let this one go then. I wish she came out with a new one. This is quite old, and it still smells okay. The mattes are still very, very nice. But I also have these mattes. So I am going to declutter Subculture, finally. Okay. BH Cosmetics, Optimistic AF. It stayed last time because I love the color story so much, and I still kind of have a conundrum. So while I do have the colors, that shade LOL. I haven't used this in, I think, 2 years. Or at least a year. I think I also have kind of a similar vibe. So it's going to go in the maybe pile. Then here I have a little palette from V Cosmetics, which has toppers. Shimmery toppers, and I actually am going to keep this. I don't use it often, and the reason for that is it kind of gets lost in my collection, but I do love to use topper shades, especially in my inner corner, so I'm going to keep that one as well. Then here we have, I think this is the only palette from Makeup Revolution that I have left. So this is the color story. The mattes are very, very nice. The shimmers are okay. They are nothing to write home about, but they function. But this one, I have a red cat. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to declutter it, but before you freak out, I'm actually going to take it out of my working collection where it was, and I'm going to put it in my display collection. So this is going to be decluttered, but I am going to put it on display. I cannot get rid of it, and actually, honestly, as I said, the quality was actually very nice. Then the Clarity Cosmetics Cobra palette. I used this, I think, once. It's just, I love the murkiness of these colors. I just don't use them anymore. So I thought the quality was very, very nice, but I am going to declutter this one as well. I'm just not going to use it, and I just feel like someone else will enjoy it way, way more. Then we have my Sigma Alice in Wonderland palette. I love Alice in Wonderland, and I actually really like this palette as well. It also gives me, this part here gives me subculture vibe, so I actually am going to keep this one. Then we have my two Cosmic Brushes palette. I have the Muse and Serenity. I love both of these, and the shimmers in here are so stunning. Although this one I kind of also have in my Rogue palette that I kept. Don't have a lot of these type of blue shades in my collection, so don't really use them, but this sorbet could be an, I think that one could actually, it's almost the same. So I am going to declutter Tribe. I'm going to keep Serenity. How about Muse? I love these so much. Those grayer tones there. I'm going to keep this one as well. Okay, then let's go to Unearthly. And let's start with these two, which are Sorcerer Smoke and Fall Magic. And the newer one is also coming my way. I really enjoy these. I think that the quality is very, very nice. This one actually surprised me color story wise. I really enjoyed it. I'm keeping this one, and I'm also keeping this one. Then we have here the Weirdos. I never use it. That one is stunning though. I never use it. I actually think I'm going to declutter this one. Am I? I don't know. Let's put it in the maybe pile. Sleepover. I kept it because I did not really have these colors in my collection, but I do now. So I am going to declutter Sleepover. Then we have here the All I Ever Wanted Volume 2. The reason that I kept it was because of the shade Thorn, but I have it and the rest I just don't use. So I actually would rather someone else be able to use these. So I'm going to declutter this one as well. I think I'm going to keep this one too, the As the World Falls Down. Okay, my Nomad collection. Okay, so this is the Nomad Air, which launched this year. This is a very, very cool, fun, quick color story. It's a little bit more peachy. On me at least. But this is just a one and done. And because this is a little bit more peachy and I decluttered the other palette, the Mirage palette from Alter Ego, I am going to keep this one. Then here, the Malibu Quad. This stayed for so long. The formula is so good. It's their old formula, but still. But I actually don't use it anymore. I don't know. The Cartagena Mágica, which is a very pretty, kind of a peachy palette. Does this give me the same vibe as the Sweet Talk? Let's see. Sweet Talk is a little bit more pink peach. Honestly, from the Sweet Talk, I use those peachy shades and not anything else. I think I can get the same vibe with the Cartagena Mágica as I can get with the Sweet Talk palette. Sweet Talk palette is older. Okay, so I grabbed this one again, which I actually decluttered from Katrice. But this, it's not the same as this because this one is darker. But if I blend that one out with this, I think I should get the same vibe. I think. I like the shimmers in this one more than I like them in this one. That is a very pretty combination. And then maybe with that one. Yeah. So what I'm going to do after I clean my fingers is I'm going to keep the Catrice Wow in a box because it's newer. So I'm going to keep that. I'm going to declutter finally the Sweet Talk palette. And I'm also going to keep the Cartagena Mágica. Okay. This one I'm also keeping, yes. Then we have here the Safari palette. This is such a nice palette. I love the whole vibe of this. And it's a little bit less murky. It's a little bit more of the kind of murky tones, but in a more happier format than I have in my other palette. So I'm going to keep that one as well. Then Nomad Royal Europe. This was the first time that they did multi-chromes. They're very nice. They're very nice. Also have this one, the teal. But this is a teal to blue. No, a purple to blue. And this is a purple to more green, so more teal. So it is a different color. But am I going to use it? I don't know. I'm going to put it in the maybe pile. The Hudson Valley. I'm going to declutter Hudson Valley. The Fête de Provence. The Harajuku. which is their pastel palette. This was my favorite pastel palette. I haven't used it in so long. I also don't use pastels, honestly. So I am going to finally let this one go. Then we have the Fire and Ice palette. I really enjoyed this palette. I love the theme. Oh, I love the gnomes. It's Norse mythology inspired. And I love that a lot. It does give me the minty, but a little bit more of a bluer minty. Oh, this is so difficult. Haunted Europe. Nope. Again, a lot of murkiness. This was their Halloween palette from last year. I'm going to keep it. Ghost Town, USA. I'm going to keep this as well. Oh, this is so hard with them. The Paradise Island, I'm keeping this. This is just such a cute summery palette. I'm also keeping this one, the Cloud Forest, and this gives me the neons that I want. So I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to declutter Search. And I'm also going to declutter Optimistic AF because the shade LOL, well, it's not exact, so let me swatch it. I think it's not exact. I think I had it in Haunted Europe. I cannot swatch anymore. It's close. It's close. It's not the same, but it's close. Why is it not the same? But still, I'm keeping these. I already counted them. I am going to. Let's kind of keep it for now because I actually just got an idea. When I have made my initial selection and we're almost done, I am going to go through them again off camera to see if there's anything else that I want to declutter. If there's anything else that I want to declutter, I will let you know why. Otherwise, this video will be, I don't know, 5 hours long, I think. Okay, let's go to this one, the Nomad Shanghai palette. This launched, it was a... There was a lot of backlash with this palette. I still have mine. So this was actually taken out of sale. So it's not sold anymore. It was just on sale for a very short time. I still have mine. I never use it. And it was also not the reason that I kept it all this time. But I think it is finally time to let this one go. Because I'm not going to use it ever. And I think that there will be someone who will want to try it. Fire and Ice. I'm going to put it on the keep pile because I kind of need to lay everything open and see color story wise. Same with this one, which is the Royal Europe. And this one, the Fête de Provence. Honestly, also the Malibu Quad, the Weirdos, and this one. So that is going to be the first initial round of declutter. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through my collection off camera, but I need to lay it all out and open, and then I'm going to make another selection because I feel that I still have too many palettes left right now. So wish me luck. I'll probably need heaps of coffee and I'll be back hopefully quite soon. Okay, after a lot of swatching, a lot of thinking, and 5 hours of my time, I think, or something, I have made a decision. So let me tell you what I'm going to keep of the things that I wasn't certain. So let's start with this one, the Catrice 5 in a box Golden Nude Look. I don't have this shade anywhere. in the neutrals that I have. And with me being an olive, especially neutral shades, they tend to warp on me a little bit, depending on the undertone of the neutral shade. So if, for instance, one is a little bit too gray cool, it makes me look dead. So, you know, if it is, I don't know, a little bit peachier, it turns a little bit more peachy on me, if that makes any sense. So this shade here, it's just such a pretty shade. I actually swatched it here. This is a shade that I love to use, and I actually love to use this palette. So that is the reason that this one is staying, funnily enough. Okay, then the next one that is staying is the Weirdos. So when I started swatching, especially the multi-chromes, I found out that I kind of have similar colors, but these are just so good that, yeah, you know, it's especially this shade Glamour, it's just so pretty. So that is, and also this one, Feather. That's yeah, the mattes are very nice as well. Even though I have some of the mattes already, I am keeping her. Yes, now I need a new cloth because I can never keep my fingers. It's the same with painting, honestly. So yeah, the next one that I'm keeping is this one, the Nomad Fête de Provence. When I had everything laid out, I saw that I have a lot of murky shades, but I don't really have a lot of happy shades. And this one also gives me the depth that I want in one palette. It gives me a few pinks, it gives me peaches, it gives me some yellows. It also gives me some cooler toned options. Not that I use these types of colors a lot, but this very much so. So that's why I'm keeping this one. Let's then next go to what I'm going to, well, almost what I'm going to declutter. So with Alter Ego, I actually said that I would keep the Sakura palette, but seeing everything together, really looking at the color story and the finishes of the colors that are in here, I am going to declutter this. So what I'm missing here is depth in matte shadow. So also what I mentioned about the cool toned of neutrals, these two are pretty cool toned for me, so they will, I think that they will work because there is some yellowness in here, but I cannot make it dark enough. And while I do like to use pastel shades on occasion, I have actually all the pastel shades that I want. So because this one is not touched, I am actually going to declutter this one, and I am going to keep the Mirage. So I thought that in the video I said that I would declutter the Mirage, but it ended up in my keep pile, so I'll probably, I don't know what happened there. But looking at the neutrals that are in here, they are very orange based, and I have orange shadows, but I don't have orange neutrals, if that makes any sense. So there is a difference between an orange shadow and an orange neutral. So let me show you. For me there is. So this is an orange, right? This is almost more of an orangey neutral because there's more brown in there. Does that make any sense at all? So these are a little bit more toned down. There's a little bit of, I would classify this as, yeah, an orangey neutral instead of an orange. Does that make any sense at all? I hope so. So I am keeping the Mirage. So what am I going to declutter? So let's go to Nomad then again. So the Malibu quad. Even though I don't have these two shadows, they're also right now not shadows that I use a lot. I do have mints in my collection. I have a mint that packs more punch than this one does. So that's actually, and it's, yeah, that's it. It packs more punch. So that is why I'm going to declutter. It's just a preference thing. I've loved this tiny quad for years. It does make me very happy. The whole vibe. So it could very well be that I'll put it on display because it's an older palette. I don't know, but I am going to declutter this one. Same with the Royal Europe. So when I was looking at the Royal Europe, so if I'm looking at the matte shadows, it's matte shadows that I do have in my collection. So I was kind of thinking about keeping it because of the multi-chromes that are in here. It's the first time that they did multi-chromes, and I do enjoy their multi-chromes. But I have other multi-chromes in the same type of finishes that or in the same type of colors that I enjoy more. I just do not grab this palette. So then I was thinking about maybe keeping it as comparison to if they are going to do more multi-chromes in the future, which I do not know, but they could. So then I was like, do I keep it for that? But honestly, I know what I like and what I don't like. So, you know, Nomad, decluttering Nomad and Unearthly for that matter are always very, very difficult for me because I love both brands so extremely. This is a very unique palette for them, but I am going to let it go. Okay, then we have here the Cartagena Mágica. So I was going back and forth. I just think that this is a very very fun color story. That gets lost in my collection, but when I kind of started swatching it, it's just, there's a certain sharpness to some of the colors. So for instance, this one, there's just a certain sharpness to the shade, and it's a shade that I don't really use. It's cute though. Will be cute in the inner corner. They're just, the shadows are just so cute. I love that this is a satin actually. Oh. Honestly, why do I do this? Why do I start swatching? Because now I want to keep it. And the reason I want to keep it is because these 3 shades. Okay, let's go check out the rest of the color story then. Okay, fine. I was planning on decluttering it, but I'm actually keeping it. Honestly, this one, the Nomad, a Land of Fire and Ice. I am going to declutter this. I do really love the theme. I had so much fun with this, but honestly, it's just, I should not swatch it. I have this, so that's all good. No, I'm going to be firm. And I am going to declutter this. This one, the Catrice Wow in a Box, the peachy one. I said that I would keep this, right? But I like this shade a lot, but I am actually going to declutter it. And if this had been a matte, I would probably keep it. But and yes, I do have mattes here, but I would rather have a darker one of this and then a dark brown. So I can make a nice gradient with one palette. So I am going to declutter that. I'm also going to declutter the Optimistic AF. I actually found a replacement for this shade. I don't remember in what palette though. I've been swatching so much. Oh, that's so pretty. I was keeping it for this one. It stayed constantly because of this one. It's finally time to let it go. So this one. I said that I would keep this one, right? However, when I started looking into my collection and kind of swatching it, especially the shimmers, the shimmers in here are a little bit more dry. And I just find that I don't really enjoy that anymore. So, no, this swatch is terrible. So I kind of have these types of shades already in formulas that I enjoy more. So I am also going to declutter that one. And with that, I'm going to count everything, hope that I don't swatch, and I'll be back in just a second. Okay, I am back with the grand total. So I started with 85 eyeshadow palettes, which is small for me, but still a big collection. I am decluttering 51 eyeshadow palettes, 51, and I'm keeping 34. It sometimes also, I do have to say that, sometimes it happens that I declutter stuff and then pull it back into my collection. It happens. So it could very well be that if you watch any of my previous palette declutters that you're like, wait, I thought that you decluttered that one already. Yes, it's, you know, I have the right to change up my mind. But anyway, when I look around to see what I declutter and seeing the things that other people will enjoy instead of it just gathering dust in my makeup collection, it just makes me happy. It just frees up something in me, and Yeah, so that is it for today. So let me know if you have any of the palettes. Let me know if I threw you any curveballs. I know I threw myself some curveballs, but yeah, let me know your thoughts about that. And then that is it. I'm not sure if this is going to be the last video of the year. I'm not planning on it, but so that is it. If there are any videos with palettes that you would like to see that I have kept, let me know down below in the comment section. And yeah, also give me your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below. So thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the comment section below. I'm going to wish you a fantastic day, a fabulous evening. May your foundation always match your neck, and I will see you in another video. Bye.